Welcome to the Joy of Coding.
Hello, and welcome to episode 69 of The Joy of Coding. My name is Mike Conley. Going to be hacking on Firefox as per usual today. We got some great stuff lined up for you. Let's check it out. Thanks for joining me again. I know I took a week off just now. Welcome back. If you were missing that episode, I'm hoping to make this episode extra good for you. All right, so this is my screen. And here is, well, let me pull up the agenda for today. Boop, 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 boop. First of all, I'm going to do a quick self-check. Things are working. You can hear me? Yep. And I'm recording. Good. So, last week and a couple episodes before that, last episode and a couple episodes before that, I was doing this Better Know a Gecko service worker stuff. I'm going to shelve that for a couple more episodes. We can come back to that later. I have some bugs I want to work on today. So we'll continue Better Know a Gecko service workers either next week or the week after. Today, I want to work on investigating a bug. We're going to be figuring out why something is broken. I'll go into more detail later about what I mean, but that's this one, this autocomplete bug. We're going to do a review. I have to review I've got this long-standing review. I really need to get this, so I'm going to get to it today on camera. And then there's a bunch of work to do for switching the form autocomplete pop-up from using Zool Tree to a Zool Rich List box, which is quite a bit better than using a Zool Tree, because Zool Tree is quite hacky and opaque. So we're going to be switching away from Tree to Rich List box. Let's see, is there anything else I want to mention before we get into this? This agenda that we're looking at is actually available to you. If you're not familiar with the Joy of Coding, this is something that I do every week. I have this kind of plan, even though I say at the top, no plan survives breakfast. We'll see how far I get through it. If it goes wrong, it goes wrong. We just do our best. But this agenda has a bunch of links that you might find interesting. Links for like rating the episode or joining the live chat so you can like talk to me, or like links for other shows that you might find interesting, or a glossary if I'm saying certain things that sound interesting. So you can get this agenda. If you scroll down, there's an additional links section on Air Mozilla, which should have a link to the agenda. If you're watching this on YouTube, then there should be something in the description of the video. And either of those will take you to where you need to go, this document. And as I update it and it synchronizes, then like when you reload the page, it should have the new stuff if I've added things. Okay, so that's the preamble. Let's get down to business. What's this bug I'm talking about? It's this one. Autocomplete on form fields does show some white lines, does not show up sometimes. So this was filed a couple of days ago by one of our nightly users named Clement Lefebvre. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. My French is quite bad, even though I'm Canadian. My French is supposed to be okay. My French is not that good. But he noticed that whenever he had an autocomplete pop up, periodically there'd be these like blank lines. See this big white area under Zelda? That should not be there. And it took me a little while, but I found some steps to reproduce. Like I asked Clement for some steps, and I didn't know how to do it, and he didn't know either. But I was able to figure it out. So the first thing I should do is probably show you what the steps are. I'll show you the bug. So I've got this like Scratch profile here. Or you know what? I'll do it in because I compiled. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to check it. No, I didn't mean to do that. Glog, and then checkout central. That's what I'm going to do. I'd done some sort of like pre-work so that you didn't have to wait for things. I'd backed out the patches that caused the bug. I mean, the reason I'm looking at this is because I landed this patch 129, or this bug. I fixed this bug 1294502, which combines the eTNS and non-eTNS NS4 autocomplete implementations. It's a big cleanup, and there's a problem with it, and it's this problem. Otherwise, it seems to work pretty well, but there's this problem with it. And so I have those patches backed out here so that we can test the previous behavior, and that's what I had checked out at the time that I started the stream. But now I'm going to go back to Central, which has the patches, so we can actually look at the buggy behavior, and I can show you the steps to reproduce. Let me bump up the font on this terminal a bit so you can see it, and bring it up from the bottom. There we go. So here I've got my a JS bin where I've like got this form field and I've put some stuff into the form field in the past. I had 4 entries: Beatles, Beatles with a capital B, Beatles with a lowercase b, Breaking Bad, and Bruce Lee are the things I've put into this form input, and that's why it's getting form autocomplete. And here's my steps to reproduce. If I have those things as autocomplete options, if I type in BEAL and then back up 1, so it says Beatles, and then back up 1 again, and then back up again, just back to B, then I have these 2 empty spots here, and I don't know what's going on. Now, I figured this out last night. The reason that the tree, this is using the Zool tree, the reason the tree is not updating is because you need to call this thing called row count changed. Because the row count is changing from 2 to, now it should be changing to 4, but it's not. The Zool tree knows that there are 4 items, or like the pop-up knows there are 4 items, but the Zool tree does not. The Zool tree still thinks there's 2. So that's why the pop-up got bigger, but the Zool tree is still only showing 2 items. So the question is, why did my patch open this? Because if I check out the backed out patches, I go right back up to my backout, and I build the, let me zoom in more. Gotta reticulate some splines. Come on. Build.
Okie dokie.
I'm just playing sounds until this build finishes. Come on. Almost. There we go. So let's take a look at the behavior with the patches backed out. I did this yesterday, and I realized that, you know, I couldn't reproduce it. If I BEAL and then I go back, I get Bruce Lee and Breaking Bad in the list. So the question is, how come row count changed is being called in this case and not in the other? Because when I looked at the patch that when I look at the patch that I landed that opened this bug, I didn't remove a row count changed anywhere. Like if I look at, these are the patches that I landed, and if I look at them all squashed together, there's a squash diff option here. Look at them all squashed together. There's nothing in here about row count changed. I just have to kind of wait for them to calculate. But like nothing in here is about row count changed. It's row count. I never call row count changed. Never called it, so I never removed it. So what's the deal? How come things are different? And that's what I want to answer. Because I have a patch that fixes the bug, but I want to understand why the bug exists in the first place. Why did this change introduce it? Because I don't understand that. The patch that fixes it is actually this one, where when I update the... no, that's not the one. This one right here. Where when we update the results, we get the old count and the new count, and then we say that if they're not the same and there's a tree box, then we tell the tree box the row count's changed. That's the API. And why did I not need to do this before? What was calling the row count change before? So let's find out. I've got a build that has all of the patches that I landed backed out. So something somewhere is calling row count changed, I think. And I want to understand how it works. So how do we do that? Well, first, I should make sure that it's being called. Like, I can add some logging, because I know how tree bodyworks, ns tree box, body frame, row count changed. Yeah, so there's this row count changed. So we're gonna do printf. Row count changed was called. And then in another patch, or another change, I'm gonna do it in this file that actually opens the autocomplete E10S. So this actually opens the pop-up and populates it. Where we set the results. So it's like here, show pop-up, invalidate. So dump, invalidating the pop-up. So now let's build this. And we'll make sure that sorry, I'm just reading some IRC scroll back. And now I am doing build faster. And now I will run. So now we're going to get some nice logging whenever we do stuff with this tree, when we try and reproduce the issue. Because I don't need Hacker News open. Okay, so B-E-A-T, or B-E-A-L, and then I go back, back, back. Interesting, row count changed is never being called still in this case. That's interesting. Now, why is that? It's not that the pop-up is being closed, but the row count must be updated somehow. How is that working? That's the only, like, is there a place where we like load it? Here, set view, printf, updating row count, updated row count to I, new line, m row count, printf, row count was I, but now I've space m row count, and I will lower count this, lowercase that. All right, so I wonder if it's something in here doing it where we are updating the row count there, or here, and printf row count updating end update batch row count is but updated to, and then m row count, and then printf I m row count. All right. Let's see what that does. I'm gonna quit. Okay, mock build binaries.
Hey, what happened?
The question of the ages. All right, how are we doing here? Run. BEAL. Row count was 2, but I've updated the row count to 0. That's what it says there. And then I back up. Row count was 0. I've updated row count to 2. Count was 2. Row count was 2, but I've updated row count to 4. So it's happening in here whenever we are calling set view. That's interesting. So in here, when we set the view, we've cleared the results, we update the results, and then we update the view. We say that the pop-up view is autocomplete ETNS view again. And when we do that, when we set the view, that causes us to update the row count. I see. Okay, so the question is, now I'm going to revert all that logging back to the way that things are on Central. Aren't we updating the view? Because I thought we were. That file doesn't exist anymore. So it's autocomplete pop-up now, .jsm. I thought we were updating the view. Show pop-up with results. We say the view is autocomplete view. But then when we invalidate, when we invalidate, we call this dot invalidate. This dot invalidate does not, I see, this dot invalidate does not set the view on the open pop-up again. Got it. Well, I actually like the solution we had, like the solution I've introduced here, which is this one. So let me write down why this is, why didn't we do this before? When we invalidated before, when we called pop-up before, we ended up calling the setter, view setter on the NSI tree box, which causes a recount of the rows. Now that we're hearing invalidations from content, we invalidate the pop-up, but we weren't doing that view reset. I think it might make more sense to go with the row count changed stuff, though. I don't think we really need to unhook and rehook up the view. Unless there's a really good reason. Like, what happens in here? When we set a view, we clear out the old view, meet the view. We invalidate ourselves. We fire an event that the tree view changed. Row count change. When is row count change supposed to be called? The review is responsible for calling these notification methods when rows are added or removed. Index is the position at which the new rows were added or at which rows were removed. Oh. Position at which the new rows were added or at which rows were removed. So maybe I'm not even doing it right anymore. Count changed, index. You know what? We might want to just do the safe thing, which is to stick with the old behavior. So what I'm going to do is, instead of this change that I'd started to do here, I'm going to rebase that off of that onto central. Ooh, yeah, there was this other thing that I'm going to finish this bug for. I'm going to add that to the agenda for the review, because I think we're almost done this thing. I'll update that in just a sec with a link to the notes. Okay, so we're going to update, and then when we set results, the view is responsible. I'm going to do this. Invalidate. No results. If we close the pop-up, we clear the results. That's good. We set the results, and then we invalidate the pop-up, but we also need to update the view. Set the view in order for the tree to know it has changed. This dot tree box. Oh man. Maybe we'll do it in set results. No, the view has changed. This dot tree box, if this dot tree box, wait a second. So hold on, what were we doing for? Dot view equals pop-up view. Oh, you know what? We can just do it like that. Um, Open pop-up view, open validate, and then I actually wonder if we can call this dot invalidate, set results results. I think we can. This open view is obviously selected index equals -1. Well, this selected index thing might be a pain. Alright, we'll just leave it. But I think that'll fix it. Let's test. Oh, now autocomplete's just not working in general. Why would that be? And if I get rid of that line, does it work again? I would imagine so. Yeah. Okay, so maybe this hackery is not what we want to do. Pop-up.view. Because whenever the opened pop-up view is set, then we set the view here. Tree view. Trees are such a pain in the butt. Oh, there it is. And that's working properly. Alright. Okay, so I think I don't know why it was busted before, but it's working now. Let's not look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm gonna get rid of the logging. The logging's gone, so this is our patch now. Now, is it worth attempting to write a test? Autocomplete. There's like a test autocomplete.html, wasn't there? Or something under like components, satchel, toolkit components, satchel. Test form autocomplete.html. Here, some really grody testing. Test. Change input blur. This num equals 699. Timeout. Run test. I'm just gonna correct the formatting here. Case 700. Tree is properly invalidated when the tree is properly invalidated when the results are updated. What's this add entry business add entry? Form history. Add entry calls runs the test when an entry has been added. Oh, okay. Name value. So if I want to add an entry, I have to do that. Add entry field 1. Beatles. (701) add entry field 1. Breaking Bad. Ugh, this is such an awful testing framework. So part of what I'm going to do in a later patch is clean up these tests, but I'm not going to do it right now. Bruce Lee. Case 703, and now we send car. B. Let's see what the definition of send car is. Satchel. Send car. Oh. Okay. Synthesize key. Okay, so I can do send car B, send car E, send car A, and now we need to like wait for the menu to show up, wait for menu change. Because I think wait for menu change is how many we expect. Break, and then case 704, send car L, wait for menu change. Break, case 705, do key backspace. Space, right? Backspace. Yeah. One, two, backspace, wait for menu change 3, break. $706. Check menu entries. Check menu entries. Okay. Something like that. Should be Beatles. And then like we want to remove the items. I think remove. No? Okay. Mock, Moki test. This is probably not going to work the first time. Satchel test. Test autocomplete. Form autocomplete .html. Started test 703 and then it failed on 703 where we send car BEA. Oh, I need to focus the field 1. Probably field 1. Input. Input.focus. There they are. BEA. So the wrong input is focused. I need to input equals field 1. That one. I have no idea what $_ means. Input equals field 1. Let's see what that does now. Oh, we need to delete the value inside it. Input.val. How do you programmatically set the value? Input JavaScript. Oh, that pop-up bug. Input JavaScript set value. I'm trying to remember how this works. You just do DOMs. Oh, no, not with jQuery. No. Dot value. Good. Okay. Value equals. Alright, let's try that. Go, 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 go. Oh, BEA should just have... Okay. BEA, wait for menu change. There should just be the 1. Yeah. And 0, backspace, backspace. 1. There should be 1 Beatles, and then L. There should be none. And we backspace, backspace to BE. There. Try that. Failed. Not expected. Oh, we have to say that it's expected. Expect. Wait for menu change. Pop-up not expected. .703. Whoops. Test 703. Expect pop-up. And then where's the other one down? 705. And we need to close the pop-up. Do key escape, maybe? Restore form. Alright, let's try that. These tests blow. We need brand new tests for these things. It's important to test this stuff, but the current way these tests are written is really awful. Got 1, expected 3. 706. Got 1, 351. And lines. And test 706, we expect to wait for a menu change to 3. Times. Test changed. Satchel common. Wait for menu change. Then results, expected count. Menu change. Wait for condition for the row count to be the expected count. for menu change. I don't get it. I should be waiting for the menu to change. Why am I failing here in 706? So we should have 3 items. Let's not do anything here. Let's see what it looks like. That one worked. Then what about if we now check for the menu entries? Is it a racy test I've added, maybe? It wouldn't surprise me. We got these pop-up things and... Check menu entries is the part that's screwing up. We've got 3, but check menu entries is what's screwing up. Get menu entries. What's get menu entries? Gee, last autocomplete results. Stringify results. What's going on? Results are those. Oh. So now I've updated Rocan. So 706 enters before the results have come down. That's the problem. Wait for menu. Is there something I need to do? Expect menu, maybe? Expect pop-up. Notify menu changed. Notify menu changed. Maybe I've got too many of these wait for menu change things. Oh. Expect pop-up. Anytime we hit escape, we should probably expect the pop-up to go away. Anytime we expect the pop-up to go away. Hmm. Wait for the menu change to be 1. L. Wait for menu change to be 0. Or maybe that's the problem. Wait for menu change 0. Does that make sense? Delete the only... Yeah, it does. We use it in a couple places. So, wait for menu change. Dump waiting for menu change, and then menu changed. Menu changed with and then it's just logging. Just logging right now. Okay, expecting pop-up. Dump now waiting for menu change 3. Checking menu entries. Okay. Waiting for menu change. Waiting for menu change. Menu change with Beatles. Starting test 705, then 705 happens. Okay, expecting pop-up. 74 happens. Hit Beatles again. We never get a menu change of 0. So how can this pass? Wait for menu change 0. Is it a previous test that's ruining things? So I've increased the timeout from the previous test. Row counts now. I have row count to 1. 704. 704 starts. Interesting. 704 starts after the results have come down. Maybe I need to more understand how these things work. Set expecting pop-up to true in the next test. Test will occur when the autocomplete pop-up is shown. Call wait for menu change to run the next test when the autocomplete pop-up has X items in it. Okay. Next test will occur when the pop-up is shown. I think I'm doing that right. Oh, maybe it's... Expect pop-up. Maybe it's that. Let's try that. Nope. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that works. Okay. Menu entry 012. Good. Then unexpected invocation of 707. So this. So now if I run it like this, this should pass, right? So weird. Yeah, it passed. Close. Is there anything about closing the pop-up? Do key escape. Do key. So is there something about closing? Key escape. Do that. And then 707. Simple test finish break. I can get rid of some of this logging. And the indentation I did before seems to not be consistent with the rest of the file. Oh shoot, I should probably just leave things be. So much inconsistency there. This whole file, explode it. Explode the thing. Unexpected invocation of 708. Simple test finish. Oh. Something like that. No, you know what? I'm just going to do simple test finish here. Good. all passed. So now if I can, let's try and remove our fix and see if it fails. Oh, I might need to have done the rebuild. Well, we'll see. Passed. So let me build faster. Still works. That's not good. I need it to fail. Shoot. Ah. Maybe it's because I need to go back slower. Backspace. Okay, 706. BE. So we have BEAL, then BEA. So it's Beatles. And then BE and B. So it should be 3. Alright, let's see what that looks like. Failed, failed, failed. Got 1 when we should have gotten 3. Okay, good. Now let's put the fix back. And hopefully now we pass. Nope, failed anyways. Ah, damn it. Oh, wait, did I build? Did I build? Still failed. Shoot. Alright, I'm about ready to give up on writing this regression test because this test framework is too hard. So I'm just going to give up and post it, and Matt will trust me, and then whenever we rewrite the test framework, Matt can trust me. Or when we rewrite the test framework, we can add this test case. All right, so we'll push that up for review. Actually, I'm gonna change the commit message. Holy smokes, what's going on today? Okay, there we go. Luckily I'm not dropping any packets. So I want to change my commit message to be more detailed. And make sure the tree is updated when invalidated. Sure the tree gets fully up. The form autocomplete pop-up tree gets updated when invalidated. There was a recent bug. What was the bug? This one, bug 1294502. 1294502 recently refactored the form autocomplete mechanism to combine the E10S and non-E10S. Refactored the form autocomplete code to combine the E10S and non-E10S mechanisms. We, during the old mechanisms, used to update the tree. Or wait, hang on a second. The new combined mechanism works. The new combined mechanism works. Let's see, what do I want to say here? The new combined mechanism works using something mostly similar to the E10S, to what we used for E10S, except that we forgot to update the NSI tree view to reset the NSI tree view when the autocomplete results are invalidated. This, so that's it. Posting for review. That took longer than I expected. That's the name of my bio. Okay. Let's take a look. Make sure it looks good before we post it for review. Okay. Publish. Or wait, I want to add a comment about attempting to write a... I attempted to add a test for this in Satchel Toolkit Components Satchel Test Autocomplete.html. But it's pretty tricky. I just couldn't make it happen. But the framework in there. Alright. Sad face. Okay, so this thing I wanted to do today, it was only like a 3-line patch, but couldn't do it. Sad face. So strike through. did this, there's this other bug that I want to look at. Neil Deacon gave me feedback on it. He gave it an R- because we only want to, oh, he did it in the bug. It should be Mac and Linux specific. Oh, yeah. Okay, got it. So we need to change it so that if we're on OS X or Linux, we do this part. And let's control frame. If let's see, how do I want to do this? Mac OS X, GTK, def GTK. Linux. Is there like a Moz GTK one? If def Moz GTK. Yeah. I think that's right. Use that. It's not used too often. Should be XP GTK, XP Unix. What is XP Unix? Or XP Linux. There's one for XP Linux, and there's XP GNOME. And Darwin. GNOME, XP GNOME. Not. Oh, that's only defined in here. If Unix and not OS X, then okay. So XP Unix is the equivalent of Mac OS X and GNOME. XP Unix. I think. Configure. Target is Unix if the kernel is not WinNT. I see. It's got a Unix kernel. Target is Linux. Or target is OS X. GNOME. So XP Unix. Sync. All right. We're was I? What was the change? Redisplay selected text. I want to do this if we only want to do this check on not drop down if def xp Unix. How best to do this? Because then we have this else condition. Let's see what other techniques there are. And like some of our CPP stuff. Moz widget GTK. That's what we should use for if XP Mac OS X or if defined XP Mac OS X or defined Moz widget GTK, then we need to do this check. Now, what's a good pattern? Need to have a good pattern for these ifs. Well, box drop down. Else. Display select. Something like that, maybe. If we're on OS X or widget GTK, then we check. For GTK and OS X, we do not update the combo box while the drop down is open and the user is updating their selection. If not drop down, then redisplay selected text, else. Let's try and compile that. Okay, where are we at? About an hour and 30 in. I wanted to do this review over here. Can I do a review in time? Maybe. Someone also asked me a thing in IRC. Hey, live hacking will get back to you in about 20 minutes. Now I have to set a reminder to get back to Handy. Alright. And then, how's this going? Did this build? It built. So let's check it out. Gonna do my select drop-down stuff. Let's get a select drop-down in this fake form of ours. Select option test 1, option test 2, and then let's do a couple more. 3 and 4. So now when you key through this, we don't update this thing up here, whereas in our current release we do. And that's more platform. That's how platform is supposed to work, or the OS X is supposed to work, I think. All right, so let's put that up for review. With non-Ethernet on OS X and GTK. Push review. So this is done, this is done. Gonna review this thing, and I don't think we're gonna get here. All right. Let's take a look at the patch, and then we'll publish it, and then we'll move on, and we'll do our review, and then we'll call it a day. So in this patch, we are just adding this check for GTK and OS X. We do not update the column box while the drop-down is open and the user is updating their selection. Otherwise, we do. Fired when error key. I guess I don't have, like, this change is not necessary. I'm going to undo that one change. That made sense whenever we, like the before, for before my change with the pragmas, the if-defs. So we're going to commit, push for review. Let's take a look at it now. Enter key. Sure. Sure, let's publish that. I'll also do a try build to make sure that this is going to build properly on Windows. Trigger try build, try B Win32 for Mac OS X. T9U none. Submit. Okay. Try build's going. That's done. Okay. Review time. So what is this? This is for the time input that we're working on for this is a form input widget where you can select a time. Whew. And let's take a look. The latest whip depends on bug 128, and this patch depends on whip 3. I've had a lot of comments. Hopefully it makes it easier to read. 8785231. Where's that? 87812888591. Oh. A day ago in here. Oh man, so is the work happening here? Implement the layout for input type time. Input the layout. Discuss with the friend. We'll start with time. Type time. Oh, so look at form control. I think this looks sane. We'll consider a Zool element ascend modern flexbox. It's a lot of talk over here. Okay, let's take a look at this. What's going on in here? Browser. So we're adding a date time picker panel. Good. Select menu list and a date time picker panel. Tab browser. Whoa, gross. Okay, but that's the same thing. I understand. Browser glue. We will init it. And what kind of initting does date time picker need to do? Date time picker helper. What kind of initting does it need to do? It adds message listeners for form date time show picker hide picker. Okay, good. Oh, that's nicely written. That's nice. GK, so there's a date time box, date time control frame, and the GK atoms list, Gecko atom list, and then date time control frame. Get primary frames, set value for picker, set picker state. Frame set picker state open. Is in native anonymous subtree and is an input type. Input text, and get parent, and get parent, and get parent, and get parent. Yes, this is very, very deep. Gross. Okay, I guess this is not a thing I really need to review, but maybe the stuff inside. Input box, inside the box. Called from DOM layout when input value has changed. Knit broken alignment on these on lines 22, 27, 34. Super tiny knit. And what are we doing? We're calling notify input element of value change, value from the picker, focus to text box, get the current value, and whether or not the picker is open. Should this be read only? Is picker open? Do we like set is picker open? Oh. I guess it shouldn't be read only, so I will remove that comment. And status of the picker. Form control. If the pref DOM forms date time. If element is a Zool element created by date time input type bindings. Okay. Okay. Mouse build, state time control frame. This is all stuff that I don't feel like I'm qualified to review, but the front end. Var, date time. Yeah, here we go, here we go. We have an observer. We're gonna add observer, Moz show date time picker. When we unload, if we're open, we say hide the picker. And then on init, we remove the observer. Remove listeners. If we close, remove listeners is observer. Picker value changed, form picker closed. Okay. Out of curiosity, so okay, they're using observer. Got it, got it. Daytime picker, daytime box. Show picker. Picker hidden is false open pop up at screen. Event listener pop in, add event listener, date time picker value changed. Move picker listeners on close. What do we need the browser for? To parse our weak browser. If browser, setting picker changed hour minute. Got it. Handle event. Yeah, this all looks good. I'm worried a little bit about the use of the observer. This is, I'm even just gonna get rid of that comment. My only concern is the observer notifications. This looks right to me. I know it's a lot. Like I'm mostly just kind of looking for shapes and stuff. Like Moz, daytime box, value change, Moz, high daytime picker. This looks mostly right. This looks really good. I just have a few questions. Do they say anything about observer in here? Change to use observers for passing messages between frames, so no custom events on input element anymore. So that was intentional. Custom event. Can't use custom events. So, I just want to revisit this decision to switch from events to observables. It looks like you switched away from events because you were hitting event dispatcher CPP. What line? 564. 564. What is that? This is unsafe. If node is Chrome dock. Oh. Only Chrome dispatch. I actually think firing an event makes more sense than using SI Observer Service thing. I suspect we can get around the assertion by firing a Chrome only event. We do something like that for Moz show dropdown. We do something like that. We do something like this for select dropdowns to signal to browser child.js that they should send a message to the parent to open the select dropdown. See, I'm going to use DXR actually, or a permalink. I'll use this. Would it be possible to use a Chrome only event here instead? I think that'd be much preferable to using SI Observer Service for this. This looks really, really good though. The code is very, I want to point out that I only skimmed this patch for structure and didn't test it, and only really, and I didn't test this patch and only skimmed it. I didn't test this patch and only skimmed it, and even then I only looked at the front, looked at the JS, CSS, and XML stuff. But it looks really good. I think we're on the right path here. Okay. Yes, the patch in bug. .591 makes a lot of sense. I commented over there. Input time, implement the layout. What is the... I'm confused about the distinction between these two bugs. Should this bug be duped over to bug 1288591? If not, what is the work that this bug focuses on? The layout. Maybe it's the UI? Because they don't have any spinners. Oh, yeah, I didn't see a spinner. Time, update input box, show picker. Show picker opens the picker. And the picker itself. Right, I understand. I commented over there, and I think it's a solid foundation. So this is the stuff that I was actually asked to look at. Picker pop-up. What are we doing here? We're constructing a spinner. Top offset. It's array diff. I think I need to look at this more closely, and we're running out of time. It's 2:43. I don't think I'm going to be able to review all of this in the time that... Oh yeah, then they have XBL binding. Parse time. And the picker itself. Spinners. Namespace, scroll bar. Maintain its scrolling capability. Oh! We're inserting a user style sheet that's capable of selecting scroll bars. And do display none. Ah, I see what they're doing. Interesting. The namespace. There's only Zool. Is there anything like that inside a CSS file? Out of curiosity. So this... Time picker. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to call it here, I think. I need to really look closely at this patch. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do it off camera. I'm sorry if you were really hoping for me to review this. There's like way more going on here. I need to probably spend an hour or two just picking it apart, and I can't do that and have all y'all watching because, well, it's just I'd be taking up too much of your time, your valuable time. But feel free, if you're interested in seeing what I say about this patch, follow 1283384. That's 1283384, and I should have a review posted for that today. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to call it here. Thanks for watching this slightly extra long episode of The Joy of Coding. Let me know what you thought. I feel like a bunch of stuff. Check the link down here to rate this episode. If you go here, you can fill in this form and let me know what you thought. Was it amazing? Was it awful? Tell me what your favorite thing is. Whether or not, you like what I'm doing or what suggestions you might have to make things better. Please let me know. I'm happy to listen to it. I've been working that feedback into my behavior in the show. So I want to know that stuff. Send it to me. And I think that's where I'll call it a day. Thanks so much for watching The Joy of Coding, episode 69. I'll be back next week with episode 70, milestone, 70 years old, or 70 episodes in, not 70 years old. Holy smokes, imagine. And we'll have another good time looking at Firefox code. All right, gonna call it there. Quit while I'm ahead. Thanks for watching. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.
The joy of coding.
See ya.